And you join us just as the teams line up before us here in Dortmund. A capacity audience, 53,790, the total crowd allowed in this beautiful new stadium, and it's packed to the roof. Over 35,000 Dutchmen have moved in here, about 4,000 from Holland. Now the anthem. In fact, that was to call the two girls forward. Bunches of roses being given to the captains of the two sides. Brazil on your left in unfamiliar colors, so there won't be a clash of colors on black and white television screens. Brazil have changed into a blue strip, Holland into a white strip. But Holland still retain a little orange in their colors with orange stockings. Now the bandmaster gives the signal, and we will indeed have the anthems. Dutchmen, having sung their anthem, applaud, and now the Brazilian national anthem. And so the stage is set for this game, which many are already claiming is the battle of the old champions against the battle of the new champions. Although neither of these teams have been able to get through to the final yet, that's still some way off. But Brazil, with a record of 35 games played since they won the World Cup, have only lost twice since then, to Italy and Sweden. Now they've got to go up against this tremendously powerful, exciting Dutch side, who look as though they can go all the way to the final. One of the VIP guests of honor here this evening, Mr. Henry Kissinger, surrounded by CIA men. There's over 1,000 police in here and 500 frontier men. There's the Dutch side, the side that has strung together 3 good wins in a row. They have required to make any changes. Neeskens has been getting some treatment for an injury to his knee. Cruyff has been suffering with a dose of flu, but everybody apparently is fit. Cruyff, this talented, beautiful footballer, captain of Holland, and he is drawing the photographers. Now the Dutch team, the Brazilian team are drawing photographers across there as well. And they too have no injury problems. They're unchanged. And having put together 3 games, 3 winners in a row, the inspiration of Rivellino scoring in each of those games, Jairzinho eventually coming good and finding the net, they are in great form. Alongside me, as usual, Sir Alf Ramsey. And looking down at this pre-match scene, how do you predict we may see the game developing?
Well, I think that as we haven't seen the Brazilians for some time, one is looking for some improvement in the makeup of their team. They brought in two players that we haven't seen, Zé Maria, the right back, and Durku, the number 21, who plays on the left winger. I most certainly will be interested to see them play, but they certainly have a great deal on their plate. The Dutch are a very good team. I think they've reached their maximum. We haven't seen the best of Brazil so far, but I think the Dutch are in a very strong position to win this match.
A comment on Jairzinho, Alf. He's still having to play the central striker role, and it seems that is not what he wants to do.
No, I think he's far more active as a right winger. But he's a very successful player. He's a very experienced player, and a very good player indeed.
And already we have a little more rain coming down. We had heavy rain here earlier in the afternoon. Nothing, of course, in the nature of the deluge that they had in Frankfurt. But the ground is moist on top. We're getting just a trickle of rain at the moment to make perhaps the ball a little more slippy. The commentator's nightmare in some respects tonight, because I've got two Paulo Césars in the Brazilian side. Paulo César Lima, wearing number 11. Paulo indeed covered themselves with a great deal of glory in this first half. The Dutch side file down from the dressing rooms to re-engage these battling Brazilians, these bruising Brazilians. The great man Johan Cruyff coming out there. And looking down at the packed ranks of Dutch supporters, wondering how much influence their sound is going to make on the Brazilians, in fact, in this second half, whether they can swamp them with sound and put them off their game. Although the Brazilians are looking very cocky down there at the moment. More VIPs then coming out to take their seats. But we settle back for the second half of what really is a semi-final. The chance for one of these